people. Let's see. Um, Officially getting things off the ground as far as this vlog. I know a lot of you have probably heard of me before. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard the name Shujenko a lot, all over the world, probably all over the internet, probably in the streets, among different people. Well, here I am. I'm finally putting a face to the name officially for the whole world. However, just a little history about the name Shujenko. It was my stage name as an adult, a gay adult filmmaker in 2000 and in 2010, and out of Atlanta, Georgia, of course. I had done uh, adult modeling, adult filming. If I stop in the middle of this video, I am dealing with espionage for whatever reason, because people that commit espionage don't go after regular people like me, especially gay porn stars. And I'm dealing with gang stalking along with a lot of my loved ones, and that's the reason for me making this blog to try to put an end to this problem. Again, I know a lot of you've heard of the name Shujenko. Well, let me give you a little backstory about the person behind the name Shujenko. My name is Martell. That is my birth name. I was born in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I am the oldest of three children. Uh, I am a gay man. Yes, I am. Uh, how this started was all of this started after my career of porn, pornography, adult films, whatever you want to call it. Um, I met my husband in my now ex-husband. I met him in 2013. Um, he approached me on uh, Facebook. Apparently, he was taken by me or taken by Shujenko, and I had went through a lot. My life had finally slowed down from the fast life, and I had just like really learned to be okay with myself, and which I'd always dreamed to fall in love, be married, blah blah blah. The whole knight in shining armor thing. Um, I met my husband. We got engaged in 2013 of January, and I moved him from Chicago, Illinois, to Bowling Green, Kentucky, into my mother's home, where he and I stayed for months and wasn't charged a dime, wasn't asked anything, and I officially got my proposal with the ring on one knee in front of my family, and we stayed with my family for 3 months and finally got our own place. Happy newlyweds, get ready to get married, engaged, or whatever. Um, Life was okay. We had our little burps of trying to learn each other and getting adjusted to being engaged, blah blah blah. And fast forwarding, we moved to the the city of Peoria, Illinois, Peoria County, Illinois. Um, a city he had already lived in 6, 7 years prior to meeting me. Um, I moved there with him after battling back and forth, and me having the sixth sense of moving there and not being the good idea for us. But I knew that I could get married sooner because gay marriage wasn't legal in the state of Kentucky yet. Um, we got married July 3rd, 2014. I was 29, by the way. He was 36 when we got engaged. Um, Shortly after moving there, my life started to change. I had good times, but then I started having more bad times than good times. You know what I mean? So, well, I guess I did a good job. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a little self conscious about my teeth. That I really am. So, but anyway, um, My life started to change once I moved to Peoria, Illinois. Um, it just seemed like one bad moment after the other. I was pretty much on my own for the most part. I didn't really have any support because for some reason my husband was just this big gentle giant apparently to everybody and could get away with murder. Well, I learned that moving to Peoria, Illinois wasn't exactly a good idea for me because I got without me knowing, I got involved in gang stalking pretty much. I became a victim of gang stalking. That's what this was. And that's what the cause of all this weirdness and stuff going on around everybody and around the name Shujenko now is because it went from one situation to another, and what happened was my husband and I went to California, and I dealt with a situation there that was out of the ordinary. It wasn't normal, and I was just hit with one weird thing after another. Uh, I was threatened with human trafficking. Uh, there were threats and assumptions made about my family, which my family was completely innocent in any of it because they were in Kentucky, I was in Illinois, and other people around me got drugged into it. You following me? So, fast forwarding on that situation, after everything happening to me, everything horrible, being treated every way possible, and everything else, and fuck you, and I'm getting to that in a minute. Um, moving forward, I I handled the situation and made the situation diffuse itself. That situation was over. The whole human trafficking and the whole gang stalking thing of that issue was done because let's say that I done some favorable acts that I guess spared me from that issue. Okay, moving forward, things got normal for a little bit. Things were normal. Things slowed down for a few months, and then things picked back up. I was in and out of the psych ward, in and out of the mental hospital, in and out of the hospital constantly because all these things were going on around me and I didn't have any support. This person had then got in my family's ear and just really had them under the influence of basically making it seem like that I was having a mental breakdown and tried to blame it on drugs, blah blah blah, not knowing that I was being mentally and verbally mentally abused, excuse me, mentally abused, and all these horrible acts were being done to me by multiple people and people that shouldn't have been involved in the first place. My marriage was not mine, it was everybody else's. My business was not mine, it was everybody else's. And my family was being made to look like the monsters and the bad guys behind their backs, even though they were being played as pawns in this whole situation. Random people decided to make the decision, make the issue whatever they wanted to because our phones, and definitely mine, had been spied on for years. So there they were sitting there gaining intel, listening to stories about me, stories about my family, everything else for years. Okay. Um, it put me in the hospital multiple times, multiple suicide attempts, everything because I felt like that I was trapped and I felt like that I was in a room screaming at the top of my lungs and nobody could hear me. But after being harassed and kept on hearing death threats towards my family, me, this, that, I got sick of the shit and I started fighting back. Even though people were still trying to tell me this and this wasn't happening to me, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I remember staying indoors nearly a whole year straight. So by the time I came back outside, my neighborhood had changed. The majority of people that I knew we knew or whatever in that entire neighborhood, because everybody knew everybody, had moved, or it was like they had disappeared, and the neighborhood became a ghost town. Well, shortly after that, the building we lived in has received new management, or whatever, whatever, and this was by the original property manager's grandson, who we knew anyway, and I had to deal with gang stalking from that neighborhood, people whispering and making comments about me, about my family from houses where people that I know used to live in abandoned houses. You know, they were breaking into houses, living in houses unknown because landlords hadn't came to check the houses and all this other stuff. And situations got worse, and my husband literally sat there and was telling me that this stuff was not going on, in spite of everything that went on with me in Los Angeles. Okay, so putting two and two together, fast forwarding, regular people, a group of people, especially African American females and males, started walking around, and I'm noticing my hair designs, my ideas for clothes, and everything else. And I only shared these with certain people. I'm looking at basically me walking around amongst these women, men, and children. And I'm looking at my mother, the way she walked, family members, friends, using our names and everything else back then. Okay. Um, well, I finally gave up, and after all the drama, left my husband and went back home to Bowling Green, Kentucky, where I'm from. And the issue had already moved there and took over the city. My issue, and I couldn't believe it because this type of stuff doesn't happen. You know, you you couldn't make this up. You know what I mean? Um, I had done some research, and I realized what game stalking was and everything else. Okay. Um, the neighborhood where my family lived, other neighborhoods, I saw this type of personality, this type of energy, which were these people involved in gang stalking from Peoria, Illinois. Moving forward, this whole thing began and blew out of proportion the way it is now due to the lies of a black underage minor who has been leading these people to follow behind me in Bowling Green, Kentucky, all the way up here to New York City and everything else. And it cost the life of my grandmother this year. She tried to tell people, I tried to tell people, but it caused her to have a massive heart attack at 92 years old, and her phone was cut off from being able to call anybody, and they killed my grandmother. So now the bastard is trying to talk shit to me now because I am in a SRO. There are people in here right now who are accomplices of this little boy and using my family members' names and everything else. So now everybody's trying to be up in arms. They try to poison me with poppers and rush. Now they're spraying urine and stuff from their rooms and stuff, listening to this boy now as we speak. And I've actually had people, even people I know, that I think they kind of got the idea of what was going on, had the nerve and audacity to try to tell me to get some help, which you can kiss my ass, period. We have nothing to say to each other ever again because I'm on to you, period. And I might smack you in your fucking mouth. So we're going to leave that alone just because you got booed up with some of these sorry motherfuckers or you popped out babies with them. And, you know, you're just a foul ass person right along with them. And you're not trying to help matters, even though some of you motherfuckers have known me since I was little. But this is the introduction to the Shujenko lies and getting at the police corruption out there, the cyber hackings, the reason why your cell phones don't work, why you can't communicate with certain family members, why these weirdos is running around here with me, with this looking like me, talking like me, with this my green hair, the purple hair from friends of mine and me, that, you know, it all makes sense. So welcome everybody finally to the Shujenko lies. and I will be posting videos and filling you in on little details. If you have any questions to ask me about this, or if you have anything going on now like this in your life, don't hesitate to send me an email at the Shujenko Lies at gmail.com, or send me a message on Facebook. Oh, also, I have the Shujenko Lies on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Because, I'm not always talking about this bullshit either. But welcome to the Shujenko Lies. Let's, put an end to this stupid bullshit and this black, dirty ass child, and the crimes of these dirty ass people and these gang stalking, crime committing ass people. So let's get it, people.